Yeah, okay, we're gonna be speedrunning this shit, basically, because I just read the first chapter of Dead Rock literally this morning, and I'm a huge Hiro Mashima fan, so I figure, why not do something similar to the vein of my SAO Progressive 2 video, where I word vomit all my thoughts out and give you my impressions and interpretations of Dead Rock, just based off this first chapter. So honestly, I don't know if this is going to be a very long thing, because, as much as I think you can draw a lot out of the introduction of a story, maybe I'm just not, intelligent enough or capable of drawing the most out of, the first chapter from manga like this as somebody else might be. Regardless, I still want to offer my thoughts on Dead Rock, so I'll stop stalling and just get right into it. Okay, so firstly, on the superficial level, artwork is obviously impressive as always. Mashima is a fantastic artist who knows what he's doing, and the art is really impressive. I mean, this is going to be a monthly release, so there's kind of an expectation that the artwork will, be more impressive than it would for a weekly release, just because they have more time to put into the artwork. And I mean, that definitely shows here. I understand why some people don't like Mashima's art style, because they feel like he keeps using the same characters over and over again. I could make a whole other video about that and why I think it's kind of an unfair criticism, but that'd be kind of detracting from the discussion of Dead Rock here, so I'll leave that alone and just say the artwork is great, and if you're the type who appreciates, good designs and all that, I think you'll enjoy at least looking at Dead Rock. The writing as well is as good as I've come to expect from, the work of Mashima, who's probably one of my favorite mangaka. I appreciate the kind of dark comedy here, because this series is a lot more brutal than even arguably some of the darkest parts of Eden Zero. There's a lot of death and violence, and that's very much intentional on the part of Mashima, I believe, in depicting this interpretation of hell, the underworld, demons, and all this. And I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy that aspect of it, because I don't know, it seems like we're in a culture where people really appreciate dark, violent media more so than usual. But what I'm interested in with this, because what it seems to me from what is depicted in this first chapter, is that this demon world is a place that's incredibly brutal, kind of survival of the fittest, where only those with incredible power or influence or whatever else get the opportunity to survive. But Yakuto, the protagonist's main goal, revealed at the end of this chapter, seemingly is to break this cycle of violence and domination by killing the one who represents it, who's the character who's literally named God, because, gotta kill God. Anyways, what I think, and I could be proven wrong, and that wouldn't be a bad thing, because it's hard to tell, exactly what a work's thematic identity is just from its introduction. But what I believe Dead Rock will end up being a story about is how, even in an environment that fosters, breeds, and exploits violence, hatred, fear, etc., it's important to have hope for a better future and to pursue that, and that is a worthwhile idea to strive for, which I find a very impactful idea, and I'd be really interested to see that play out, since one, it seems like a big part of this early story is going to be getting the other students in his class on the same page as him, and they're going to be developing into proper friends and allies who can work together towards this common goal. And also, as much as Yakuto seemingly wants to rise above this cycle of violence, he also does kind of perpetuate it, given the fact that he has, like, in this first chapter, ends it by killing his homeroom teacher for expressing his views on, like, how humans don't deserve to exist for being weak, and, like, kills another dude for his own convenience because he doesn't want to have, like, his roots as a black dragon revealed. So to me, it seems like as much as Yakuto is going to be working to help make his other students into potentially better people who are more respectful of, like, those from all walks of life, it seems like he as well is also going to have to grow and develop and learn how to, use reason and other methods of conflict resolution other than just, like, pure murder, And that's something that I also think would be very interesting to see play out. Aside from that, just, like, really, it's really fun, even outside of all that, like Mashima's other works. I find the I find the humor really charming, as well as, like, obviously we really don't have a lot to go on with a lot of these other characters, but even so, Mashima's always been really good about, like, establishing characters in your minds by giving them, like, big expressive designs and personalities. I think he does that really well here too. Like, I can't remember all their names off the top of my head, but the other classmates in Yakuto's class, I think, are already, they've got good, like, service level personality quirks and all like that to keep them in my mind, even if, I can't say too much about them at this point because we're so early into this story. But I don't want to ramble on forever and ever trying to pick apart every single detail, because I am always of the opinion that I'd rather try and just say what I want to say in, like, the least amount of words as I can, just because I feel like things have very impact that way. Regardless, I'm very excited to see more of Dead Rock. If anybody can tell me where I could read this shit officially so I don't have to pirate it, you would be my new superhero, because I can't think of any way to read that shit officially, and I would love to, so I could support Mashima and his stuff. But yeah, if you're a Mashima stan like me, I'm sure you're already, like, reading Dead Rock and are excited about it. If you're not a Mashima stan, well, you're probably, like, gonna read this and then look for every single reason you can to hate it, for the brownie points. And, maybe you'll have fun with that too, in which case, go for it, man. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to praise the work of an artist I quite admire. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. Check out Dead Rock if you want to, or don't. I'm not your dad, even if your mother does call me daddy.